So are you ready to hear some high-speed manifesting secrets? Today, I have a very special guest on my channel. Her name is Karin Yee. Karin Yee also creates law of attraction videos like me on YouTube. And she also does some really cool stuff with Chinese astrology and EFT. She has a background in Reiki. And if you haven't subscribed yet to her channel, please make sure to do so. Now, Karin and I have created a two-part series on 3 high-speed manifesting secrets. So when you're done with this part of the series, make sure to head over to her channel to watch the other one. And let's go ahead and jump into these high-speed manifesting secrets with our guest, Karin Yee. All right, Karin, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna jump right on in and we're gonna talk about our 3 high-speed manifesting secrets. One of these 3 high-speed manifesting secrets is that we've decided is all about releasing the brakes. And so one of the things that we've talked about a little bit is something that can slow down your manifesting is if you're just holding on to limitations, blocks, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I think this is where most people get stuck, right? Because most people are just thinking about, oh, why don't I have it? Instead of thinking, here's my goal, here's where I'm going. But, so many of us are manifesting with like 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the brake.
So if you're holding on to kind of these limiting ideas, limiting beliefs, limiting blocks, it really doesn't matter what else you do because you're not going to go anywhere. Or if you go somewhere, it's going to take a really long time. And what a lot of people are wanting to do is they're wanting to really enhance and speed up their manifestations. And so if it's taking a long time, that's one of the big secrets is just learning how to take your foot off the brake, learning how to get rid of the blocks. And we both kind of have similar but different ways of looking at this. What's your way of releasing the brakes, getting rid of those limiting ideas, limiting blocks that are slowing down the system?
There are so many methods that I've shared on my channel. I'm sure, Andrea, you're aware of most of these methods that are out there circulating. But I think essentially, my message to the world is to start with gratitude. And that's the name of my channel, Choosing Gratitude. And gratitude is just such a powerful tool to help you like kind of instantly, right? Release the blocks or resistance, because when you can't be grateful at the same time feeling you are not there yet. And so the first step is obviously to just, be grateful for what you have. And you may be thinking, well, I don't have it yet, right? How can I be grateful for what I have? But you can always be grateful for the seed of your manifestation. Like if you want to manifest a new house, you can be grateful for your current house, even though it's not your dream house. It's still a place to live and you can find positive aspects in your current house, right? And once you can be grateful for what you have, then you can move to being grateful for what you don't have yet. So I always talk about offering gratitude in advance of your manifestation. When you say, universe, thank you for helping me manifest my dream house, instead of saying, my universe, how come I don't have my dream house? You see, there is a huge energetic difference here. So when you shift your vibration that way, you shift from, why don't I have it? How come I'm not there yet? Into thank you. That mindset, that shift will help you, instantly take your foot off the brake, basically.
Yeah, I just want to kind of touch on what you said because it reminds me so much of a coaching question that I got just this weekend. And this woman that was in the session was talking about wanting to manifest her dream job. And I don't like the job that I have, but I want to manifest my dream job. And that was one of the things that we talked about is like, start to appreciate the job that you have, find reasons to enjoy it, have reasons to love it. Because what will start to happen is instead of projecting the block, I don't like my job, you start projecting the message you need to be projecting, which is, I do like my job. And so even if you don't like what you have now, just starting to reach for, like what you were saying, gratitude shifts your perspective entirely, and it can get you off that block mindset and into the mentality that you need to actually manifest the job that you want. And that kind of really fits in with one of the strategies that I talk a lot about when it comes to releasing blocks, is shifting from the why can't I to the why can I. And in fact, you can use that question, why can't I have this, to tell you precisely what your limitations are. So this is something that can be really useful, because sometimes people don't really know what their limitation is or what they're really even focusing on. That's the block. But if you ask yourself, well, why can't I have that house? And you actually sit there and think about that question and write down the answers, the ones that come to you the easiest will tell you what your true hangups are. So for instance, like, okay, again, why can't I have the house? And you could just start writing down the answers that come to mind. Well, I don't have enough money, and my kids don't want to move, and the market's not good. And you can see right on paper, what are the thoughts that you are thinking on a dominant basis that are keeping the dream away? And once you know what those things are, it can be tremendously useful, because every time you hear yourself saying it, every time you hear yourself thinking it, it's a reminder, oh yeah, that's just my block. And you become conscious of what is oftentimes a really subconscious block, a really subconscious piece of programming that's telling you why you can't have what you want.
Wow, Andrea, this one is really, really big. And I think you explained it so well. This has to do with our negative energy blueprint, or, like we all have some kind of negative theme or our negative story that we were told when we were kids, right? Like, so using this strategy is really helping us kind of reverse that and become aware of our negative blueprint. And once we become aware, it can be changed, it can be transformed.
Yeah. A lot of times, if you don't even know what's going on, it'll just keep running. It'll pop up, or maybe you can release it with this manifestation, but it's going to pop up in another one because it's a dominant thought that you haven't corrected. And so when I talk to people about correcting those blocks, like once you kind of identify that, the next thing you want to kind of do is talk about what you were saying, which is, why can I have it? Or why do I have enough money? Like, if let's say that, again, you want the house, right? And on one of your items, you wrote that I can't have the house because I don't have enough money. Well, you could always flip it around then and say, why do I have enough money to have a house? Why can't I get a house with this amount of money? And it'll get your mind thinking in the opposite direction. Well, I could get a loan, or I've known people who have gotten homes for nothing, or it gets you start thinking of the possibilities of why it's possible, even in your situation, even where you are, you start thinking about why that would work rather than why that would work against you. So much like with what you were talking about with the gratitude piece, focusing on the gratitude rather than the I don't have, it's the same kind of concept. It's just a little bit different way of looking at it. Why can't I have it? Turn it into, why can I have it, even though these are the circumstances? And that's something that I found to be really useful in my own life, and then also with the people that I work with.
Yeah, when you were saying that, I just thought of this story of the baby elephant being chained to a pole. Have you heard of that story? So supposedly, baby elephant in a circus was chained to a pole, when he or she was a baby, and the baby was very weak. Obviously, the chain is kind of flimsy, but it kind of holds the baby there. But as the elephant grows, it becomes a huge elephant, and it becomes very easy for the big elephant to break free from that pole, right? But because the chain is old and it's rusted, it's flimsy. But guess what? The elephant just still thinks that he's that little baby. When we ask these questions, switching from why can't I have it to why can't I have it? Thank you for giving me the opportunity to have it. What you're doing is you basically come into the realization that you're not that baby elephant anymore, right? You're not that little child being fed all kind of a lack consciousness, lack beliefs anymore, right? You are this big elephant with power, and that you can easily break free from, whatever you don't desire.
Yeah, and that limitation is just a flimsy little hole. It's nothing. Like we put so much stock in our limitations, but when you actually turn them around, you realize they were so stupid.
It's true. Yeah, I think people have so many more reasons for why they can't have it, rather than reasons why they can have it. So this is an excellent exercise. Just to write down all the reasons why you can have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's jump into our next one. What do you think? We have another manifest.
Yeah, let's jump into our next strategy.
So we talked a little bit about releasing the brakes. And so another one that we've identified is stepping on the gas, right? So you can release all the brakes you want, but if you don't step on the gas, your car isn't going to go anywhere, right? So that's kind of thinking of manifesting. Like you can get rid of all your blocks and just be laying in bed meditating and nothing's happening. And actually
nothing's happening.
This actually does happen with a lot of people with the law of attraction. I'm sure you've noticed this, where
absolutely
able to sit there and let things come to me, but they're not really accelerating what they want, right? So for this one, we both, I think we really talk about a lot about repetition and identifying what it is you want, why you can have it, why you're grateful for it. But you have to really kind of hit a tipping point where you're really thinking more about the why can I have it than the why can't I have it, right? So that's one of the things that I talk a lot about on my channel is building momentum, right? So if you want to speed up your manifestation, the why can I have this house has to be on fire, right? It has to really be running. It has to be your dominant thought pattern. And because I have a background in psychology, I really learned a lot about programming the mind and repetition and how important it is for your mind to really wrap around an idea. You really have to hardwire yourself to think that thought as much as you possibly can, at least initially, till it really gets going.
It's a lot like exercising, it's a lot like exercising the muscle. And when you never exercise in your life, when you go into the gym and you start lifting weight, it's very, very hard, right? But as you do that more and more often, you repeat it, your muscle is going to grow, and then you will want to go to the gym, right? You look at the result, it inspires you. And I think the other thing is that I think our world is kind of built on, a lot of people programming us for a negative outcome or for not believing in ourselves, right? Like if you don't program your mind, they are going to program you, right? The world is going to program you to be limited, to be small, to live a miserable life, So that's why it's so important to take that first step. And it may be a somewhat uncomfortable step in the beginning.
Oh, that's so true. Because you have me thinking about like when I turn on the television and there's all these commercials. All of them are like, you're getting old, your hair's not good enough.
Right.
You have to take control of your consciousness and realize that that stuff's running. You have to be prepared to run a better program, and you have to kind of engage in that process a lot of the times. And I know that you've got a really great method for ramping up this kind of programming. It's called, what's it called again?
It's called Tesla Code 3, 6, and 9.
Tesla
method.
That's right. And actually I've had quite a few people on my channel ask about this method. And so in the other part of this series, I know we're going to talk about the Tesla code. So we're going to go ahead and jump over to your channel. So anybody who's watching on my channel and hasn't seen the other one, we're going to go hop over there and talk about our high-speed manifesting secrets. And we're going to start off with, I believe, you talking about the Tesla code, right? Hey, thanks so much for watching this part of our video series on high-speed manifesting secrets. You can find the other video in this series on Karin's channel, and I'm going to go ahead and link it up somewhere you'd be able to find it and watch it. And please do remember to subscribe to her channel as well if you're not already subscribed. And if you happen to be new to my work, I would love to invite you to take my Law of Attraction test. I have created a 5-minute Law of Attraction test where you can put something out there and watch it come back. And to take that test now, go ahead and look below in the description for a link. Thanks so much for watching this part of our video series, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.